Welcome to Echoes of Time, a journey into the forgotten worlds and the secrets they left behind.
You know, it's kind of crazy to think about what secrets might be hiding right out in the open, but only visible if you're looking down from like hundreds of miles up in space. Well, today, we're going to do just that. We're pulling back the curtain on some of the absolute weirdest and most secret spots on the planet, all thanks to satellite eyes in the sky.
We're talking about a secret nuclear arsenal.
The world's loneliest tree, no joke.
And some really strange patterns in the sand that look like something out of a sci-fi movie. So stick with me as we dive into what these incredible satellite discoveries are all about. Okay, first up, military secrets from above. We're diving right into the world of top secret sites. You know, the kind of places hidden away in the middle of nowhere, but totally exposed when you look down from space. So check this out. Deep in the New Mexico desert, satellites spot this giant 14-acre mound just sticking out of the ground. And look at that perfect square shape. I mean, come on, that's a dead giveaway, right? This is definitely not natural. Somebody built this. Okay, so we're in New Mexico, USA. You can see these roads leading in from both sides, and then they just vanish into an underground tunnel. And you see those watchtowers? Yeah, this whole setup is on Kirtland Air Force Base, and it is clearly guarding something really important. So the big question is, what the heck is inside?
Well, here's the answer. This is the Kirtland Underground Munitions Storage Center. And get this, it's the largest storage site for nuclear weapons in the entire world. We're talking an estimated 2,500 nuclear warheads, all tucked away in vaults buried like 80 to 120 feet underground. Just wow. And the timing of this place is absolutely crucial. Just look at this timeline. Construction starts in 1985, finishes in 91. This wasn't just some random time. This was built during the absolute peak of the Cold War, right when tensions between the US and the Soviet Union were at an all-time high.
All right, let's jump over to the Nevada desert for our next mystery. Because high above this, totally empty landscape, satellites have picked up something truly bizarre. These huge letters and geometric shapes just carved into the sand, literally miles from anything. So no, it's not aliens. Sorry to disappoint. This is actually the US Navy's Fallon Range Training Complex. And the best way to think about it is like a giant eye chart, but for spy satellites. As a satellite orbits the Earth, it needs to check its cameras, right? Make sure the zoom and focus are perfect. So it locks onto these huge ground targets, which have known shapes and coordinates, and uses them to calibrate its whole system for pinpoint accuracy. Okay, now we're gonna hop all the way across the world to the Taklamakan Desert in China. And what do we find? A grid pattern that looks kinda similar, but it's even bigger. This thing is absolutely massive. We're talking over 500 acres. It's so huge you could literally see it with your own eyes from a spy plane flying at 80,000 feet. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you see a pattern emerging. Just like the targets in Nevada are for the US, these targets in China are for, the Chinese military. It's a calibration zone to make their own spy satellites and guided missiles more accurate. It's a perfect example of how these big global superpowers basically copy each other's homework in the race to get a technological edge.
All right, so we've seen secrets in the desert. Now let's shift our focus and look at humanity's mark on water. The next few images show how our big industries can create some really weird scenes out on the ocean, all perfectly visible from space.
Okay, take a look at this, off the coast of Mauritania in West Africa. At first, it just kind of looks like a smudge, right? A blur? But when you get closer, you realize you're looking at thousands, literally thousands of fishing boats, all roped together into this one giant floating mass.
So, why are they all tied together like that? Well, this isn't some kind of disaster scene. It's actually a really clever, low-tech solution. See, the local port is just too small to hold everyone. Plus, the Atlantic storms out there can be absolutely vicious. So, by roping all their boats together, the fishermen can protect them from the weather and even split the anchoring fees. It's just a fantastic show of community teamwork. Next up, we've got a 500-ton problem in the Suez Canal. Let's head over to Egypt, where satellites caught this pretty dramatic moment. You can see this huge semi-submersible ship, and it looks like it's in some serious trouble, with another boat working right next to it.
So, what's happening here is the Chinese ship, the Jinyawa, got stuck. It basically ran aground in the shallow water right at the canal's entrance. That other ship next to it, that's a dredger. You can think of it as a giant vacuum cleaner for the ocean floor. It's sucking up all the sand and sediment to clear a path and get that massive ship floating again.
Okay, for our final section, we're diving into some incredible tales of extreme isolation. We're going to look at everything from the single loneliest living thing on the planet to entire communities that are totally cut off from our modern world.
I mean, if you want a picture of what isolation looks like, this is it. On Campbell Island, way out in the middle of the Pacific, there is one single Sitka spruce tree. A team of explorers planted it way back in 1901, and Guinness World Records has actually named it the world's loneliest tree. And get this, the nearest tree to it is 275 kilometers away. That is just mind-bogglingly far.
All right, for our next story, we're going deep, deep into the Amazon rainforest, right near the border of Brazil and Venezuela. We're talking about a place so remote, so dense, that trying to get there on foot would be pretty much impossible. But even out here, satellites can see these amazing circular structures. These are called chabonos. They're the traditional homes for Amazonian tribes, like the Yanomami. And what's so incredible is that an entire community, we're talking dozens of families, all live together under that one single roof. They're hunter-gatherers, living off the land in the same way their ancestors have for hundreds, maybe thousands of years.
And the Yanomami are just one group. There are actually over 400 different tribes living across the Amazon. But here's the part that really blows my mind. It's estimated that more than 100 of these tribes are completely uncontacted. That means they have absolutely no idea that our world, with its cities and cars and satellites, even exists.
So from secret military bases and lonely trees, all the way to entire communities living outside of our time, these satellite images really prove that our world is still packed with mysteries. I think this quote really says it all. Sometimes Google Earth shows us not just satellite images, but glimpses of secrets beyond our imagination.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? In a world that we've mapped from space, corner to corner, what other secrets are still out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to look a little closer?
This was Echoes of Time. If you love powerful history stories, subscribe and continue the journey with us.